Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be the first to welcome you back to the Baby Chris Show. And I've got something a little bit different than the usual for you guys. I have got a top Yasuo game. So I know all my videos that I primarily come up with have been jungling, but I've really had a ton of fun playing Yasuo. And I wanted to show you guys how you can use this champion with a little bit of practice, of course, in order to climb out of your bronze, silver, gold, even platinum games. So I have a pretty standard setup here with Yasuo. I'm starting Doran's Blade, and we are playing against a set which is a pretty difficult matchup early, just due to the fact that his combos are so difficult to stay away from. So we're gonna have to play really far back at the beginning, make sure that we're hitting a decent amount of CS per minute. That's the main goal. That's the key. That's what's going to really push us over the edge. If you've never played Yasuo, I'm sure you've had him in your games, and you've been absolutely annoyed whether or not he's on your team. His Q is kind of his bread and butter, and what we're going to use to essentially farm from a distance. His W is his wind wall, which is an amazing utility tool. And then finally you have his E, which is his mobility tool. So just as the lane comes crashing here, we're going to stay back. Oh, there we see Set. So we don't want to get cheesed level 1 in that top bush. So we're just going to... I recommend staying back, especially when you're playing a potentially dangerous early matchup. And let's see if we can get these minions here. There we go. And as you can see, we just get immediately punished for... for going up and getting CS. And I think that's ideally we don't get eat there. Maybe we bait it out and get 1 or 2 of the minions rather than all 3, but I feel like it's not a bad trade just due to the fact that he did take a lot of damage just like we did. He's hit level 2, so we want to play really safe here. And then the last thing that I meant to mention was Yasuo's R. So that is going to be the real reason people play this champion. It's going to be what allows you to get those crazy plays, and we just want to focus on getting every single little bit of CS that we can without getting, absolutely destroyed by Set's E, Q, W combo. So we're just going to go ahead and stay back and try to use the E wherever we can. We'll get some little bit of damage out there. Pop his bone plating. But everything's going to plan so far. It's sometimes you just have to learn to accept that the matchup is not in your favor, and that you're not going to get a solo kill, in the first 2 minutes every single game. While it can be helpful, it's not the most consistent way to play the game, and people at higher levels are going to counter your champions and play them to their strengths and weaknesses. So we just want to get as much damage as we can out here without taking any damage back. We do have some minions stacking up behind us, so this would not be a terrible time to fight, which is exactly what's going on here. Zac luckily is here, so let's see if we can follow this up. Oh, Siobhan is here, so we're going to have to back up a little bit, make sure we're playing this safe. This is going to be a little bit tough, but we'll see if we can outplay this. But we do get... Ooh, we get the double. There we go, baby. Oh, Zac is going in. He does have passive, probably. And we're able to get both of them. That is absolutely beautiful. This Zac is such a strong pairing with any Yasuo player, just because of the fact that he has infinite knockups. And that wasn't really evident in that fight, just because we're not 6 yet, but just the fact that we're able to put out that damage while he's popping this crazy amounts of crowd control and CC. It's just really helpful whenever you're playing a high hyper damage carry champion. You want to be paired with someone who's taking the damage for you, with disrupting the enemy team, so that you can take your time then and then put the damage. Before we back here, I just wanted to make sure we push into turret, and we should have enough time to come back here into the lane based on where the minions are. Let's see how mid is going. Pretty even. Pretty even. I think overall we're up by 2 kills, but not really something to carry us into the win later on. So we'll see if we can do a little bit more. I hope you guys are having a good day. We've got some nice rainy weather now with fall upon us, and even though I will miss being able to go out during the day and be in the sunny weather and, you know, enjoy that part of it, I also love staying home when it's rainy. It's such a good feeling, I feel like. Set is just doing set things right now, just basically holding the lane for as long as he can, building up his slow push, and we're just gonna have to respect it, especially since he's 1 level above us. And it's important to be patient in situations like this. The wave will eventually come to us, and we'll eventually be able to hit this farm. We're not doing amazing. We're at 6 farm per minute, but if you can be like, we can basically take this 5 farm per minute as long as it's early enough in the game, and you can turn this into a 7 or 8 farm per minute game. And I think that's the key in these elos, just making sure you're hitting your 7-8 farm as he engages on us here. You're gonna E out of his ultimate, and I'm happy with that trade. We did miss 2 ranged minions, or 2 or 3, but he does pop his ultimate on us, which I think is a pretty long cooldown. I think at least 80. We'll see if we can land. Nope. So one really important thing with Yasuo is always try to E in, and gonna have to focus here as we do have a big wave, but as I was saying, sorry about that, you want to E across a minion and land your Qs like that, whether it's your standard Q or your you know, your Q3, which is what's going to be lifting the champion. I just feel like landing your nados from really far away can be difficult. So if you're able to E in and then launch your Q, even if you're still at a distance, it'll be good. So we've got a lot of minions here. This is potentially a good fight for us. Let's see what we can do. Dodge out of that. Oh, such a close fight, man. And I'm pretty sure I missed 1 auto in there, which maybe would have put us over, but this is like exactly why I don't like to fight sets early. They just, you know, with that WQ, with that W shield, I think it's his W, it's just so hard to tear through that damage, but we've got a pretty big fight here in bot lane. Ooh, TF coming from behind, so we got to be a little bit careful. Oh, wow, that was a pretty good ult by the Janna. And Vex comes for the cleanup. Is that him? Perfect. Still an even game, but it's those little skirmishes like that that can win or lose you the games at this elo. It's always good to keep an eye out on the map, but remember that every time you're roaming and leaving your lane, you're doing it at the expense of your CS. So as you can see, you know, we've been working pretty hard here to hit every minion, even though I just missed one. Oops, we accidentally hit him with a nado. And we've managed to basically come up to 7 CS per minute, which I think is more than good in low elo. Like if you're hitting 7 or 8 CS per minute consistently, you're going to be winning over 50% of your games for sure.
I do not regret that which must be done.
Just kind of scoping the map out here, trying to decide the next move. He's just going to be freezing again. So we're going to have to find other resources here. Scuttle's always a good go-to, as long as it's up. Ooh, this is a bit tricky though. Yeah, I think Vex has the right idea. This is a little bit too flippy, so we're going to go ahead and back off. You don't want to find yourself in too many of these 50-50 situations, just because that's how you lose and win games. I'm sorry, that's how, you know, you want to be making consistent plays that you know you have an advantage during, like during ganks or during 4v3 skirmishes. You don't want to go into these big fog of war situations where you have no idea, if it's 2 enemies or 3 enemies. We want to play it safe, and we'll try to get this farm here. Nice. Just remember, you don't want to coin flip your games. If you trust your play and you're patient, then you can get much better results. And we're in the same situation here that we were just a few minutes ago, waiting for Set to push in the wave. And he's going to get angsty, I promise you. If we're the more patient player, he's going to be the one that's making the mistakes. Just make sure you're getting your minions during all this stuff. Let's see if we can do something here. One more. Uh-oh. TF is coming. Perfect. We had the win wall still up. I don't think TF realized. He TP'd in, and he did not realize we could just dodge his little stun card. But just like that, I mean, that was patient play. If that TF had poured it in full health, I don't know if we would have been able to kill both of them. But at the least, we would have been able to go, 1 kill on the Set. And then, like any other time we get a good kill, you want to essentially capitalize on it as long as you know it's safe. And we want to get some of this turret plating. Solo queue is all about growing your individual advantage. Is my team fighting? Do I not know if they're going to win or not? That's fine. Like, maybe let's stay away and let's build our farm. Right? Keep building that farm. We're up to almost 8 CS per minute with no real, crazy mechanical outplays. Like, we'd be at around 7 or 8 even if we had died there. So, just keep that in mind. Oh, John. With a 2-man knockup. She's putting in some work, but she does go down. And this Vex clearly knows how to play his champion. It's very important. And I've been seeing some of the big Yasuo streamers spend a lot of time on in the top lane. I think P-Zhang has been playing a lot of Yasuo top lane, and you have to be careful. I played a Garen the other day, and Garen is such a pain. Let's see if we can go in here. We missed a Q, but we should do enough. Ooh, managed to dodge out of that. And he should be dead here. One more Q in auto. Oh! He tried to be cheeky with us. He tried to ult us back out of the turret range, but not gonna work. He was too low. And Yasuo works into pretty much every single comp. You just have to remember that if you don't have knockups on your team, it's gonna be a little bit harder. So whenever you're in champ select, don't be afraid to hover the Yasuo. Let your team know that you're picking him. And sometimes they will go knockups. If they're between 2 champions and they see that you're gonna be playing Yasuo, like maybe, it'll allow them to lean one way or another. And I think there's a lot of real good meta champions that have knockups right now. Like, you see a lot of Ornns, you see a lot of Aatroxes in the top when you're playing mid Yasuo. Just a lot of things with knockups that are being played in meta right now. And right now you have Worlds going on, which has been a lot of fun to watch. I think EG is potentially going to make it out of the play-ins. And Brazil is also doing pretty well. So don't forget to check out those games if you're into League of Legends. It's fun to watch the pros play, the best people in the world, in the biggest tournament of the year. And you can also learn a lot. Even if you're playing weird champions. I think someone actually played, I think it was this Korean guy on a Brazilian team recently played. Ooh. Let's focus up here for a second. Yasuo's a 2v1 machine. ATS per minute, 4 to 1. Like, you should be in a pretty good situation. I doubt this. Oh, he does port in on us. We're going to see if we can wait up our wind wall. Wait, or stall this long enough till we get the wind wall. I don't think we're going to be able to win. Nah. Very, very close, though. I think if we had somehow... I think if we had walked into the cove rather than into the other bush, maybe we would have had enough time to dodge or to pop our wind wall, but I think we played that okay. We did burn the TF ult, we burned the flash, and I think he did ignite us as well. So even though we give up a little bit of a shutdown, I think we attracted attention long enough to where our team was able to basically impose their presence on the lower side of the map. And this Vex and Set are going to match up here as we spawn. He gets the kill. Every time you base, right before the timer's up, make sure you look at the map and look at some potential good options. And oh my god, we managed to get the R there. The max range Yasuo R for the double. And that's the power of Zac. That's when you have those knockups, like more plays open up, especially with the Janna Zac. And when you don't, you're going to have to just play a little more patient. You know, charge up your Qs. Let's see what we can do here. Hit the turret. See if we can... There we go. And this set's just 2 levels down. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah. Always watch those levels. We have ult in 4 seconds. Can we pop it? Not in time. Now we pop it. Beautiful. It's just so fun, man. Yasuo has to be one of the funnest characters in the game. I thought about like flashy queuing, but it's probably good that I didn't. Yeah, this set's like 5 levels behind. Ooh, the wind wall manages to save the Zac, and we'll E out of that Q. I swear, that is like... That's the 3rd R of this fight. Yasuo ultimate is super low cooldown. 45 minutes, or 45 seconds, maybe a minute, but... You have to be patient with Yasuo. Make sure you're getting the plays that you want. Don't force anything too crazy. He's a great cleanup champ, and you want to launch your tornadoes when they're not expecting them. Once they're distracted by all this action that's going on in like a 4v4 or 3v3, that's when you want to land your nados and get some value out of them. This set just flash missed his E, but I mean at this point they're desperate, so they're gonna do things like that. Wind wall that, make sure they don't get any follow-up. And we'll keep looking for resources. We're still maintaining the ATS per minute here, just barely. So we're going to try to hold on to that as we win here. Or as we close out this game. It's not a guaranteed win yet, but we'll try to close it out. Always take enemy jungle. Deny them as many resources as you can. Can we land this? No, we cannot. We do have 4K. We literally have 4K gold. Probably shouldn't be fighting this. Or probably should be basing right now, but we're just so ahead. I feel like we can mess around a little bit, or I shouldn't say mess around, but just take a few more risks. Always ping those objectives. Make sure you get your jungler's attention. I have found, and this may be like a weird tip, but I have found that pinging on my way to an objective, like the on my way ping, like doing that to Dragon is way more effective than like targeting dragon, doing the target dragon ping. Like for some reason, like if you ping you're on your way, people are gonna be like, oh, I gotta go with them. When you're pinging like the standard G ping and clicking on dragon, I feel like people think it's like a command and they for whatever reason don't want to do it. So try the on my way pings, and the enemy team surrenders. ATS per minute. Nothing too crazy, 8-2, but this is how you win your low elo games. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video if you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.